Well, hello. Welcome to the second season, third episode. And it's been a while. And I'm going to try to do an episode a month. If I can get it done quicker, I will. But I want to welcome you again, those who've subscribed and wanted to watch me kind of make my way through these paintings. And normally what I'm going to do is I just make up something and try to do it. I might get an inspiration from another artist. This one in particular is Bob Ross. I like his style of painting. That's what I started doing, and I thought, man, if I could do some of the stuff he does, maybe it'll turn out okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make his campfire scene, which I think is pretty cool in the forest, and just go ahead and follow along with me. So what I have right now is I have alizarin crimson, but what I did differently is, and this is on a white canvas, but with black gesso allowed to dry. So I went ahead and I put the red, the alizarin crimson on, put some Van Dyke brown in the corners, and then I put some liquid clear because I really want it to blend. So hopefully that all works out and you still follow along with me. What I'm going to do is, and how it's supposed to be is you're supposed to start and put. So this whole thing it's like the forest. It's like a campfire in the forest at night. So what I'm going to do is take some cadmium yellow, and I'm going to decide where my campfire is going to be. Let's see, right here. And then what you do you just make your X's, because what we're going to do is we're doing this as a glow in a forest. So you're just kind of taking the cadmium yellow and you're just taking some of the color out. And you're going to take a little bit more, so you're just going to, because you want the light, you want it to be the glow, right? You want to be a campfire glow. So the whole sky, there's going to be trees, but your main source of light is right here. So obviously the glow of the campfire at night, you want it to be, you want it to be all over. You want it to be, everything's going to be glowing off of this light here. Because remember, there's not going to be any light in the night sky, or in the night, other than this. So as you can see where, so we'll put a little bit more in the center. You just want to make sure that, and hopefully you can see that. I'm going to try to do more than running my mouth, but I also want to be somewhat conversational. I know the last video I wasn't as conversational. I don't know why. I get into, and I don't know if you do this, when you're so preoccupied with something, you got your kid who's playing video games, and and you're trying to talk to them, and they're like, yeah, I got you. And they just keep playing out the game, and they didn't hear you. Then you just say something obscure like, hey, we're going to eat fried rattlesnake tonight for dinner. Is that okay? And they don't hear you. And you're like, yep. They're like, oh, okay, Dad, sounds great. Yep. So as you keep doing it, you just want to keep putting, as you can see, you can probably tell the camera, you really want this to glow. And it's all going to be blended in because you want it the whole thing to glow. And because there's liquid clear on there, we're going to blend this all in so that way I'll get a blending brush and yeah. So what I'm going to do now, yeah. So as you can tell, you see the glow, it's kind of all over. It's going to be more subdued than that. All right, so now I'm going to get a blending brush. I know. And then I'm going to see about making this blend. Oh, that still had some green paint on it. I can't do that. Oh, here we go. Let's see. I had a lot of green paint on it. Yeah, you really don't want green paint. You want to make sure this is dry. Yeah, as you can see. Yeah. All right, let's go back to it and see. Yeah, what I did was I put paint thinner on the canvas, and that's going to kind of defeat the purpose. You don't want to do that. You know, as Bob Ross says, there's no mistakes, it's just happy accident. This isn't a happy accident. I thought I dried my brush. I did not. But hopefully we can get it done okay. Oh, that might be okay. It's a little bit more subdued in the corner. All right, we're just gonna go with this. So now that we have our campfire, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start doing some trees. I might have to put a little bit more light. Let me see if I can fix this. Wow. A lot of times when you're painting, you're like, man, I wish I wouldn't have done that. It's okay. You know, I mean, you're gonna have those moments where you're like, wow. So I don't know if you've ever been I mean, I don't know too many people who haven't been camping at night, but you know, the whole area is like reflected. So, all right, so we're gonna go with that. Okay, so it's the campfire, and this whole thing is the glow. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna make some trees. Well, we're gonna make trees that are in the background. So we'll take some yellow. I'm sorry, we're gonna take some red and some brown. And so when you're making your trees, make it so like it's disappearing into nothing. Sorry, I'm just trying to find a brush because you don't want your trees to be too big. You want it to be like, you want like trees in the forest. So, you don't want it to be too prominent. So, and keep in mind, you want to make it so it's, you want to make it in the forest. You're making trees, and you're gonna make a few. Yep. So it's just brown. Yep. Yep, all you're gonna do is you're gonna make your trees. All right, you're gonna make them a little thicker. I wonder if you can see it. So yeah, so you can see the trees. Yeah, because you don't really want to focus on the trunks. You just want to make sure that they're represented well. Yep. So, yep. You're gonna keep going. Just keep making these trees. I wonder how that's looking. I'm trying to stay out of your way, but okay. So we got a few trees. So what we're going to do now is we're going to. So I think we got enough trees. We're gonna do some more things. These are just basically background trees. Okay. Yep. So that's what we got. We got a bunch of trees. Now we're gonna go and we're gonna try to. I think we're gonna do some leaves. Here's what we're gonna do. Now, if I can find my brushes, I'll try this. So we take some alizarin crimson, and we're gonna make some. I don't know if that's gonna work. I'm trying to figure out what I need. I need it to stand out because I want. Oh, maybe I put it. I'll just put a little bit of white because I want it to stand out a little bit. I don't want it to be hidden in the background. So I'm gonna grab some white. See, I'm doing a little different. You know, Bob Ross does his thing. I just like to do my own interpretation. Hopefully I didn't get paint on it. So. Trying to think if you. There we go. There we go. Yeah, because in the forest, you just want it to. Of course, you want them to be leaves. You know, you don't want it there to be like bushes. So what we're gonna do is right now we're just blocking in. So we're making bushes down here. And then you'll see what we'll do. And what we're gonna do is we'll highlight them a little bit with. Just keep in mind, they're gonna be reflecting. Now, it's brighter around. It's always brighter around the campfire, and then as you go outward. So like, so what you want to do is you want all right, so it's starting to look like something. And I think what we're going to do is have a little bit of green, because you want to do, I think it's a mixture of, I don't know if this is going to be too bright. I know you want a little bit of green, but I just want it, because you want it to be, the forest isn't just black trees, it's so basically it's forest, and it's kind of hard to see because you get the glow, but you'll get the picture. So since that's our campfire, I'm gonna get my knife. Wait, I know, I'm always hunting around this box. Where is, oh, here it is. So we're gonna take a little bit of Van Dyke brown. So you really want to make a path to the campfire. Yeah. So basically, you want a path to the campfire. So that's what we're making. And when you want to make, well, obviously you got to make logs, right? So. Okay, so that's your wood, and then we'll just kind of so you want to create a path, right? So you kind of, as you can see, you want to create a path to the campfire, right? So with that being said, we want to put a little bit of fire. You want to put a flame, right? There we go. Yep. So, as you can see, the campfire, we're going to enhance the ground because, again, you want it to... Because you wanted to give it dimension, right? You want... Right. So, all right, so there's the path to the campfire. Yeah, you kind of want it rounded, right, a little bit. Okay. So, campfire in the woods, and what you're going to do now is you're going to make some deeper trees. Let's see. I'm going to need a little bit more brown. Yeah, because what I want to make is I want to make some bigger trees, because obviously the forest, you know, it's not about, so like, because then you're going to make trees. So you want the hint of the forest, but you don't want these so prominent because you want a background. And now you'll make deeper trees, like trees they give it dimension. And that's what we're going to do. I'm going to, they say take your, I'm going to use a fan brush, or I could use a filbert brush. Yeah, so you want to make some bigger trees. Yeah. And then we're going to accentuate those trees too. Yeah. Actually, I was going to get a fan brush. But as you can see, you'll start seeing how it's going to take shape, because we want really the trees to be the focal point in the campfire. And so a lot of these trees, you know, you want them to be prominent, because you don't want it to be where, you know, well, is that a tree? Well, yeah, that's a tree. And you want it to stand out a little bit. So I'm going to do something different. I'm going to take, and again, I said I was going to find my paintbrush. I was going to take some liquid clear. And I'm going to put it in my Van Dyke brown. And then I want to go right. So you want dimension, and we're going to highlight these trees too. So and they're going to have a little bit of a glow. So now we're going to make some more prominent bushes. So I got the trees the way I want. So right here, and wait for it, we're going to make a reflection. So, yeah, we're going to make since the light reflection is here, okay, because you want the water to be a glow. So now, so you want to lightly go across. So you want a pond. You want a pond reflection. So we can make it a little brighter. I just wanted to trying to figure out how to do this without And then you're going to want to make the edge. So we're going to come up with the edge of the water. So this is the reflection. Obviously, it's the pond. We're going to make a little bit brighter trees because we don't want them to be alone. So let's do this. Yeah. So yeah, it gets. So, as we're probably going to put some, let me go and put some land. Where is my, I should. It's not a really good reflection now, but we're going to make it more prominent. I shouldn't have done that. All right. Sometimes when you mess up, you have to correct it, and that's what I plan on doing. It's okay. Because we want the water. We want it to be water. We want it to be reflection. So. All right. So, as you can tell, it's the reflection. There's the campfire, bushes. I do need to put some land, I know. I get going, but I don't want to spend hours upon hours. The whole goal is to kind of do it and then be like, yeah. And because you want to be like, obviously we're not going to leave like that. All right, we're gonna smooth it out a little bit. I don't know. Sometimes I just when I start doing something, I'm like, you know. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I give homage to the painters. I'll go and watch YouTube, and I will give homage to the artists who've actually painted these, like Bob Ross. I mean, obviously you're not going to duplicate Bob Ross. I mean, you can kind of see what he was trying for. I do want to make. I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay, I can see the trees. So my goal is to see if I can make. I'm running out of brushes, people. Or at least clean brushes. I don't know why I don't clean them out very well, but all right. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean my brushes, but I don't know. So a lot of things have happened over the last couple weeks. Sometimes you'll get these inspirations, and you're like, man, I want to do that. I kept wanting to do this scene because it was so cool, And I'm just looking to see. I mean, you can mute it too. I don't. So, yeah. I mean, that's my interpretation. I'm trying to see if. All right. What do you think, guys? Well, campfire, forest, that's my interpretation of it. Hopefully, I may tinker with it, as I always do. But it's been a pleasure. I hope you continue to follow me. Again, this is something I like to do. And every time I do it, it makes it that much more fun. Especially when people are watching you, With I have about almost 300 subscribers, I have about 11,000 views across the country. So I want to give thanks to all those across the world who are watching. And again, I never thought it would be like this. It's fun. This is my version of Bob Ross's campfire scene. Stay tuned for episode 4. Was it 1, 2? Yes, this is 3. Episode 4. And I look forward to seeing you guys soon, or for you guys seeing me soon. All right? Thank you so much. Hit the like and subscribe. Appreciate it. See you next time.